Today, I'm inspired by just how little the Trump administration cares about its voters. There are a great number of cattle farmers who are upset with Donald Trump for choosing Argentina's bailout of their country and their cattle farmers versus the own well-being of the folks who mostly voted for him in 2024. Trump has said that he would like to buy the Argentinian beef and further depress the value of American beef. He's even called upon farmers to lower their prices in order to compete. Now, I still don't fully understand giving $40 billion to Argentina in order to prop up the elected leader who is really struggling for his life in order to be reelected there. But I understand even less screwing all of the people who voted for you in order to do it. It is incredibly clear that Make America Great Again as a slogan, as an idea, as an ideology, as a movement is completely bankrupt. It is completely devoid of meaning because it doesn't put America first. Clearly, it puts one man first. His ideas of how the world should work, his ideas about helping those who are already rich to stay rich, helping those who are in power to stay in power, especially those who are allied with his idea of what power should be and should be able to do around the world. He is asking American farmers to sacrifice for the benefit of these Argentinian beef producers. He is asking taxpayers to subsidize the devaluing of American beef. It is another instance of his power knowing no bounds, and until everyone, and I do mean everyone, says no to him, stops him from making these terrible decisions, he will keep going. I'm also inspired today by the fact that J.D. Vance wants deregulatory flavor around AI. In fact, he was the one that was pushing for a 10-year moratorium on AI regulation in general. He, of course, is warning us about smothering this budding technology that is going to change the world. But I think if social media has taught us anything, it is that totally unregulated, free-form technology that eats everything is a bad idea. I still believe that we should be regulating social media like cigarettes. I think that social media accounts should have to be labeled as bots or as misinformation, and that there should be consequences for telling lies. But this free market wing of the Republican Party is so interested in not learning the mistakes of the social media revolution that they want to do the same thing when it comes to the next transformational technology like AI. They aren't interested in instituting guardrails. They aren't even interested in legislating the easy stuff, like not having AI be trained on copyrighted material. And I think it's because that they believe if they are in control of what AI can do and be, they are in control of the future. But here's the thing. Humans are the ones who are going to feel the consequences of no regulation on AI. We are the ones who are going to be deeply impacted. And we should have a say in whether or not our government is doing anything on our behalf to protect us or to allow us to take full advantage of the tools of the moment. Because without regulation, with pushing for a moratorium on regulation, we are going to end up in the same spot, addicted to these tools and having no way to stop using them if we want to. And lastly, I'm inspired by the fact that Dominion voting systems, which has been picked on by the right for years because they believe that somehow it gave the election in 2020 to Joe Biden instead of Donald Trump, that it is now owned by a MAGA supporting individual. So it really does seem as though there is an effort to buy the next set of elections. Because if they own the machines, if they own the way in which we vote, then they can do some of the things that they were accusing Dominion of having done, because in the courts, all of those accusations have been proved wrong. So if they own the systems and then implement some of the things that they had accused the systems of doing, then they can just reject the idea as a falsehood because it has already been proved that they're not doing it. That kind of logic makes my head hurt. I don't want to think that our next elections are going to be stolen. I don't want to believe that our election systems are going to be corrupt. But I also don't know why a MAGA sympathizer purchased Dominion voting systems. And until that is explained and all of the security measures have been proven, I'm going to be skeptical about this. I don't want to be conspiratorial about it, but I do want to be skeptical because I see the gerrymandering efforts and I see these efforts and I see putting federal troops into our cities ahead of elections as terrible indicators of what might be coming. And one of the reasons why I started making these videos was to call out things that I saw as heading down the path of authoritarianism. And this is just one more step down that path.